Amenhotep employed his personal ambassadors to find him the very best brides. It was about much more than Pharaoh's sex life. Amenhotep's harem was full of the most beautiful daughters of the most powerful kings of the age.
It's brotherhood between the great kings, and they call themselves brothers. And if you marry the daughter of another king, then you really are part of a family.
But this was not a two-way process. In one letter, the king of Babylon complains bitterly that Amenhotep has refused to send him an Egyptian princess.
When I wrote to you about the possibility of my marrying your daughter, you wrote to me as follows: "No daughter of a king of Egypt has ever been given to anyone." Why not? You are a king, and do what you like.
It was a useless complaint. No Egyptian princess was allowed to marry into a foreign court, for fear it would give a foreigner a claim to Egypt's throne. But the Babylonian king suggested a devious compromise.
Send me a beautiful woman, as if she was your daughter. Who will be able to say this is not the king's daughter?
The Babylonian king's second request was denied. Amenhotep saw himself as able to take princesses and give none in return.
I see him as a very, very intelligent man, and he obviously uses his position extremely carefully. So, although there is great respect for the other kings of the time, he is always one cut above everybody else.
Amenhotep was more wealthy and powerful than any previous pharaoh, and soon everyone would know it. He would channel the vast resources of the empire into the largest building program the world had ever seen.
To embark on a building program was one of the best ways for an Egyptian king to present himself as a hero, as an achiever, as a doer.
It was work on an epic scale. The countless sandstone blocks hewn from the Egyptian quarries have left caverns that are themselves like temples carved out of the rock. It was a triumph of organization. Soldiers, cooks, doctors, and water bearers were all sent into the desert to support the quarrymen. Amenhotep's magnificent new temples did more than advertise his wealth. They also honored the ultimate source of Egypt's glory, her many gods. Amenhotep thanked one god in particular for his success, Amun-Re, the king of the gods. To guarantee the support of Amun-Re, the pharaoh donated great portions of his wealth to the god's main temple. And as the temple grew richer, the temple priests grew more powerful.
The priests who control these vast establishments have power. They have financial power, they have political power as well.
The power of the priests of Amun-Re was beginning to rival Pharaoh himself. But out in the empire, Amenhotep made sure his subjects heard only of his triumphs, not his problems. And Amenhotep had a surprising new way of communicating directly with his subjects. Stones, carved into the shape of dung beetles, had long been used in Egypt as amulets. Now Amenhotep had these mass-produced, portable scarabs, inscribed with news of his latest achievements. Carried across the empire, these propaganda beetles were the first newspapers in history.
He wants to proclaim his power, his richness, his achievements to the broadest possible strata of the Egyptian population, and this new scarab was a way to replace a kind of earlier form of TV, if you will, of sending information all over the place.
It was by news scarab that the outside world first heard Amenhotep had chosen his queen. In addition to the minor wives in his harem, every pharaoh selected a chief queen. To strengthen the royal line, she was often a sister or close female relative. Amenhotep chose to ignore this royal custom. He proudly announced that he was marrying a commoner, the daughter of a chariot officer, a woman called T.
The chief queen, T. Her father's name is Yuya, and her mother's name is Tuya. She is the wife of a mighty king.
We get a sense of a very strong woman. The portraits are extraordinary, and they do for once convey something of the person, because there is no blandness to Queen T. You look at her and you think, ooh, she really was something else, this one.
Queen T was not an easy queen. She was so strong, and you can see that from the statues of this queen, how she was equal to the king in size.
Queen T was more than just a chief queen. She was Amenhotep's near equal. Far down the Nile in Nubia, Amenhotep made this stunningly clear by building a pair of temples, one for Queen T and one nearby for himself, here at Soleb.